My brother slept with my wife and got her pregnant, so I divorced her. Now he wants my help because my parents disowned him and gave me all their inheritance. I, 35M, need to vent about the drama that's been unfolding in my family for the past few years. It's a long and complicated story, so bear with me. My brother Nathan, 33M, and I grew up in a small town in the Midwest. Our parents were hard-working middle-class folks. Dad was a high school teacher and Mom ran a small bakery. We weren't rich, but we never wanted for anything important. Nathan and I shared a room in our modest 3-bedroom house, and for the most part, we got along well as kids. I have fond memories of us playing in the creek behind our house, catching frogs and building makeshift dams. We'd spend hours in our treehouse, reading comics and planning imaginary adventures. Nathan was always the more outgoing one, making friends easily and charming adults with his quick wit. I was quieter, more introspective, but Nathan always made sure I was included in games and activities with the neighborhood kids. Things started to change when we hit our teenage years. I remember the summer before I started high school. Nathan was 13, and he started hanging out with a group of older kids from the next town over. At first, it seemed harmless enough. They'd ride bikes around town, hang out at the abandoned quarry, typical teenage stuff. But then Nathan started coming home late, sometimes smelling of cigarettes or alcohol. Our parents tried to rein him in, but Nathan became increasingly rebellious. He'd talk back, slam doors, and sneak out at night. I'd lie awake in our shared room, waiting for him to climb back through the window, worried he'd get caught or hurt. Meanwhile, I threw myself into my studies and extracurricular activities. I joined the debate team and the math club, determined to get into a good college and make something of myself. Nathan would tease me, calling me a nerd and a teacher's pet, but I could sense an undercurrent of resentment in his words. Our parents always tried to treat us equally, but as Nathan's behavior worsened, they couldn't help but compare us. They'd praise my good grades and responsible behavior, often in contrast to Nathan's latest escapade. I could see how this widened the rift between us, but I didn't know how to fix it. By the time I graduated high school, Nathan and I were like strangers living in the same house. I left for college with a mixture of excitement and guilt, leaving my parents to deal with Nathan's increasingly erratic behavior. I thrived in college, studying engineering and making new friends who shared my interests. It was during my sophomore year that I met Rebecca. We were paired up for a project in our Introduction to Ethics class. She was pre-law, brilliant, and beautiful. We started dating a few months later, and I felt like I'd found my other half. Nathan, meanwhile, had dropped out of community college after a single semester. He moved back home, much to our parents' dismay, and cycled through a series of dead-end jobs. He'd work for a few weeks or months, then quit or get fired, usually over some petty